Charles, Scott, come on over. You're okay over there. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Tom Swazi. I'm the Nassau County Executive. I'm joined here today by the developers of the Lighthouse project, Mr. Charles B. Wong and Scott, no middle name, Reckler, and Diane Toro, county legislators Diane Toro and Wade Wink. And before I start, I also want to recognize some other people that are here as well. I want to thank my friends from Labor, John Durso and Roger Clayman from the Long Island Federation of Labor for being here today. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And I want to give some special thank yous to some members of my staff for the very hard work that they did to get us to this point here today. First being Marilyn Gottlieb, my Chief Deputy County Executive, who's worked very hard throughout this process. I want to thank our county attorneys that they're here. Dan Grippo especially. Is Dan here? Dan, thank you so much for your good work that you did here, along with Jane Hodak and Ray Ribeiro. I don't think he's here, and Dermot Kelly from our real estate department. I want to thank them. And I want to thank Jeff Greenfield for being here as well, who's the chairman of the Nassau County Planning Commission. Thank you so much for being here. We're here today to announce that the County of Nassau and the developers have reached an agreement regarding a lease of the property that is the 77 acres that now is home to the Coliseum and the parking lot surrounding the Coliseum. And I will be submitting this proposed lease to the Nassau County Legislature. This transaction is unique for the United States of America. When you hear of new sports arenas, new sports facilities being built throughout the country, there's usually a huge public subsidy that comes from the local municipality. And for the example, we recently had in this area the new Mets Stadium, the new Citi Field, and the new Yankee Stadium. These involved investments of over $800 million from the city of New York. In addition, other facilities like this throughout the country have similar type of public financing arrangements. Early on in this process, the county decided that it was not going to pay for the building of a new Coliseum. They couldn't. Remember, when I first came into office, Nassau County had been rated the worst run county in America during good economic times in this nation. When the economy was booming, Nassau County was on the brink of bankruptcy, one step above junk bond status. But even now, as we've raised our bond rating to the highest it's been in over 20 years, we face tremendous fiscal pressure as the county has not been growing, and as the national economy, the wheels have come off of it. So this project will provide to the residents of Nassau County several different things. Most importantly, it will provide to the people of Nassau County a new Nassau Coliseum. Secondly, it will require that the Islanders continue to play at the Nassau Coliseum until 2030. In addition, the county now loses money on the current facility. We will now get a payment and be relieved of the financial obligations that we currently have on the facility. We get a payment of $1.5 million a year, but we'll also avoid the costs that we now spend on the facility currently. This project will create over 100,000 jobs here in Nassau County, both construction jobs and permanent jobs as well. It will create housing, of which 20% of this housing will be a next generation housing that will be attractive for the next generation of workers and families here on Long Island, as well as senior citizens who no longer want to mow the lawn and would like to move to a destination spot. It will create a destination in Nassau County that we believe will tell people in the entire metropolitan region, and quite frankly, the entire country, that Nassau County is on the move, that this is a place to go where things are happening that are exciting. This will be the most exciting catalyst of what we've called New Suburbia. The idea that we need to preserve 90% of Nassau County exactly the way it is now, but 10% of it needs to be completely reimagined. Reimagined in a way that will expand our tax base by having new construction, of which we've had very little new construction over the past 20 years, while at the same time creating a place that young people want to be, a destination point, a place that has both places for people to work and people to live right nearby, with first stories that include retail and restaurants and shops where people can walk around, see other young people in an exciting place that makes life more exciting for the people that live here in Nassau County. It will encourage connecting this area to the Long Island Railroad, because you need to have a place that goes from the railroad station and the existing density of the railroad station to a new place of density. In addition, this will be assigned to the people of the entire region, especially the private sector, that Nassau County is open for business. This has been a very long process, and it has gone through a lot of hard work, a lot of give and take. We weren't always on the same page. We were always on the same page that we wanted to have the project get done, but we weren't always on the same page as to the terms here. And there's been a lot of back and forth throughout this entire process. But we have now come to a point where we can move forward. There are other parties that are involved with us moving forward as well, which includes the town of Hempstead. We need the town of Hempstead to now move forward as well with what they need to do to make this project become a reality. It would be horrible if, after all this hard work, after all of this time, after all of this money has been invested by the developers, after all of the effort that's been put in by the people here in the county and people who live here in the county, if this project were not to go forward. Try and imagine what it would be like if a month from now, or 2 months from now, or 3 months from now, people decided, the developers decided, you know what, it's just not worth it anymore. We've got a better offer somewhere else. Let's not do this project anymore in Nassau County. And the idea that this thing wouldn't happen, that the Islanders would leave when their lease expired in 2015, and there wouldn't be this massive investment into the heart of our county. Shame on those folks who would stop this project from getting done. So I'm very excited about this. I'm relieved after